Hello, and welcome to Red Branch. It's the edition of Red Branch where the ST isn't present. It's just players. Just two guys, and we're having a good time. Having a good time. Having a good time.
5 feet apart because they're not gay. Sorry.
God. And currently at the Red Branch stables, we'll make this like probably the following day from some very interesting things that went on, because otherwise we'd be bothering the horses during their slumber, and that is not allowed. Young Connor Walsh, a young man of only 23 years, currently has on at least a suit that he's willing to tarnish with the activity of riding, as opposed to his walking around suit, as opposed to his casual evening wear suit, as opposed to his fancy suit for several levels of black and white tie events, as opposed to his "It's Saturday and I don't care" suit. No, this is the stable suit, which honestly looks a lot like his other suits. And him and his fancy bowler hat, which is also one of many, seem to be just carefully walking up and down the paddock, perusing the horses. He has yet to be assigned a horse, so it is good to look upon them, see them, know them, get whinnied at by them. He walks like a little Lord Farquhar with his hands folded behind the small of his back, as though it is his to review these animals.
Oh, I'm stealing that. I'm photoshopping your face onto Farquaad. Anyway. And even though there has been no in-game mention of this, I'm now making it a thing that Keen frequents the stables. At the very least, he's frequented it at this moment to, his horse carried him true and fair through the battle just a few nights ago.
Or at least the ghost horse did.
Yes, the ghost horse, which is why Kian has made a pilgrimage to the stables to offer help as form of tribute. Thanks to the spirits for which these horses represent. And he also is dressed in his more rough and ready black clothes, because that is all that he apparently owns. Clad in a sort of rough-stitched sweater and black jeans with a pair of boots, but sort of work boots more than anything. He's not about to step on horse shit with his finest dress shoes. And he notices the young fella, Connor Walsh, has a face he doesn't recognize. And while he's definitely not the most sociable of the Garu nation, he has made it a point to at least see every face on Sept. And this is not kinfolk. Actually, what's Connor's
do you
pure
have
breed?
Scent of the True Form? It is 3.
I do.
Then Scent of the True Form is great, because on Kinfolk and Guru, it's a passive. This is a Guru you're looking at.
And it's definitely not one of the travelers, based on the 3-piece suit and bowler hats. I deduce with my 2 dots in investigation. Gonna give myself that freebie.
I'm just gonna say, yeah, it's probably like I mean, some of the travelers dress pretty snazzy, but he just it's very obvious he is not one of them.
But Kean's not one to walk up to merely start conversation for no reason. Rather, as he does his chores, he's helping out, bringing water, bringing I don't fucking know what horses eat. Pails of hay, I'm guessing. I grew up on the countryside. I should know this, but I don't. He will observe what the young man is doing
Oh,
for a moment.
smell of man is a hell of a drug. The horses don't seem to want to kick him, but then again, they're in paddocks where they can't kick yet.
Does he look at all uncomfortable
No.
or out of no? No. Well, with that, Kian will bring a pail of water over to whichever horse it is that Connor is currently standing by.
Oh, dreadfully sorry, I didn't mean to get in your way as he steps out of Kian's way.
No bother at all, he says as he pours the water. Sort of gives it a second to fill up, puts the bucket down, pats the what I can only assume to be beautifully bred horse on its nose. Again, don't know the technical term. He pats it on the boot nose.
Okay. I have no idea how horses react to that, so we'll assume this is a good thing.
I know that much. They do react good to it. They do like being
Okay.
petted on the ridge. Beautiful. It sort of gives Connor a look. Again, you will immediately notice despite his, well, polite demeanor, his cold, dead eyes, the McNamara stare at TM. Forgive me for asking, but I've not seen you around.
It's never the matter. I'm rather new.
Oh, I see. You must be. Ah, I heard. Um, Mr. Connor Walsh, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. Connor Walsh, clear to the nation in the ruin of the Fianna tribe.
Extends a hand. Seems the person for handshakes.
Oh yeah, I mean Connor will take it. It looks like he's expecting some form of reciprocation. Like it's just like you are my target. Oh.
Kean McNamara, fostering of the nation. I suppose I should say welcome to the Sept. Unfortunately, you might have arrived at slightly dour moment.
Duty is duty after all, and we go where we're needed.
We do indeed. How have you settled in so far?
I can't complain. The accommodations are rather nice.
Yes, it's a beautiful. Pats the horse again. Beautiful place. copper
Oh,
door, am I correct?
yes.
Ancient place.
Ancient and storied, yes, but there's really only one land the Fianna call home.
True. I admit I've never been outside the homeland.
Well, it's a wide world. You're certainly blessed to have started where you did.
I certainly am. And I'm sure you will come to appreciate being amongst your own tribe.
Copper Door isn't entirely bereft of Fianna. Even if we do keep company with Falcon's brood and a certain complement of Fenrir.
Oh, we are gifted with their company as well.
So I've experienced. I had the chance to meet one Runa Sigurdsson. Our very first night, in fact.
An interesting welcome party.
Yes. Two the Guardians greeted me, didn't give their names, but shortly thereafter I met Paul and Carol.
Ah, yes, the new blood.
Very spirited young lady.
Very. A fire for a cause only overshadowed by a fire for violence.
She seemed rather astute about all that.
She does her den parents proud.
To be sure.
I'm sure I won't get smacked around too much if I take a quick break. Would you like to have a seat somewhere? I believe there's a bench or two outside.
By all means.
And he doesn't smile. His face seems averse to the whole thing. But he does give a curt nod and leads the young Connor out to the gravel courtyard outside the stables, where I am assuming there's a few benches put up against the walls. The morning sun just starting to warm up from the dew of the night.
I mean, probably how else would all the Sept women Lyric, Klaus, and Daniel?
Stupid, sexy Daniel.
Indeed.
So what has brought you all the way back to the homelands?
Well, when the Lord sends his vassals a summons, it must be answered, and I was so called. You have an audio issues again, bud?
Maybe I'm muted.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's no. As he sort of sits in silence for a few moments, seemingly to enjoy the sun. Oh, there's many beautiful places on Sept that you would do well to take the time to visit.
Oh, indeed, when time presents itself.
Yes, things are rather up in the air at the moment.
Do tell.
Looks over. We reclaimed Art Castle only a few nights ago. A victory for the Sept, no doubt, but at great cost. There is both joy and sorrow in the air.
So I'd heard. My condolences toward the deceased.
It is appreciated. And I'm sure the office will put a gathering together soon for celebrations and for mourning.
Yes, if I have my count right, this should be the third day of the wake.
Approving nod.
I had
Are you staying
come
on
in the
site?
night. I am. I am indeed. In the McCarthy's manor. Kean, like, that's where pretty much all of you live right now, except for Seamus, I think.
No, Kian lives offset.
I hadn't kept up with that at all. I think
No,
Maeve still stays there.
Yeah, I don't
Because,
know
like,
where Seamus stays. Actually, not thinking.
Seamus, I mean, I know where Seamus stays. So, like, Kian might know this because he's in a pack with Seamus. He might not. You'd have to check with Seamus's player. But in the event that Kian does, Seamus lives, like, in a house in Brooks Rest, dangerously near the coast, to the point where every time there's a bad storm, you'd have to be like, oh.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Kian stays at the bookshop run by his kinfolk in Brooks Rest. Rather close by Christopher's, if I'm not mistaken, with the rest of the McNamara family lives. They make for gracious hosts, the McCarthys. Though I caution you to accept a drinking challenge from them.
Well, if the offer's extended, it's only polite to take it up.
Do try to schedule the day after off. You might need recovery time.
I'll keep it in mind.
Actually, I'm telling now, he wouldn't know the last name of Walsh.
Probably not. Like, it's it has to do with, like, the lore of the place, but I don't know if, like, how deep Kian gets into the heraldry of other families.
I haven't double checked with Torna, but considering his being a McNamara and being one of the last few, I think he's made a point to know the history of the other families as well.
We'll just take some artistic license here because it wouldn't be hard to figure out otherwise. The Walshes are one of the banner houses to the McCarthys. So, like every time you brought them up, he's been like, yes, yes, good, good. And it's like, oh, yes, because you. Yeah, I get why you're like this.
Mm. First time in the homelands.
I was here twice in my younger years, so I believe this would be the third, but after some great removal.
Things change slowly. It is a comfort.
I suppose they do, as he looks at like all these buildings that haven't been updated since God knows when.
Yeah. The established 1611 just stood there on the stable.
The stable's still up because the fucking supporting beams have calcified.
Probably. Are you a riding man, Mr. Walsh?
I have some considerable training in equestrian skills, yes.
Wonderful. Otherwise, you could be sure the Ryas would not let you rest until you did.
They do have a certain reputation.
They ate us well. We give only what they deserved back.
Then I suppose I shall do my utmost to remain in good standing.
Wonderful thing about horses, they always let you know where you stand.
They are rather intelligent animals.
They are indeed, and fierce tempers to boot.
Various lines of horse here have been bred for war for centuries, so it's to be expected.
Nods along. For posterity, I suppose I should ask if you've had the pleasure to make the acquaintance of my packmates. Lady Maeve MacFionn and Amos O'Callaghan.
Yes. I had the opportunity to meet Lady MacFionn not long after I arrived. She sat down at the dinner table.
She has an unnerving ability to be where anything happening is happening. Not surprised you've met her.
It's to be expected. Her line has been in a position of leadership for some time. I imagine she's quite well versed in the nature of social gatherings and good timing.
She does have a knack for making it seem easy, but Do not let her name fool you. She has an utmost kind spirit.
Oh no, she was delightful company. I admit our time together was rather brief. She had other matters to attend to. What appeared to be her mate was about, and her rather boon companion, Evo Callahan.
If you met the one, Callahan, I dare say you've met them both. They are two peas in a pod.
No, I didn't get a chance to personally meet Evo Callahan. It was just such an outward and warm friendship. I'm sure the whole room could tell. I was just the only one who was surprised on account of being new.
Mm. I'm sure that Accepted are grateful for the aid.
Mm.
We lost many good noble guru. There is need for hands to pick up their weapons.
So I have been told, often and with vigor.
And so you will be told many more times, I suspect.
Most likely, yes.
Well, it wasn't too many moons ago that I too was new on Sept. Born but not raised.
Well, either way, you are a guru of rank. I imagine many experiences have carried you to where you are.
Kind words, but I have suspicions perhaps not all would agree.
Lord McNamara? What do you mean?
There's just that there's a head tilt. Actually, do I even need to roll a P&E to see if he's being, well, I should roll to see if he's being genuine in his question.
Well, we can roll off on this. Eat that.
Ooh. Come with fire here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could I even beat that?
I don't know. I don't know your dice for Peony.
No, I could not. I have 5 dice.
He seems. How do I put this? He seems polite. It seems like he is being polite and genuinely a little intrigued as to what you might mean by that.
Mm.
Like Like you're about to get down to some gossip.
Spill the tea, Queen. Yes.
Yeah.
My family have old ties to this sept. That's true.
Some of the oldest.
Name and reputation have been left. Irrefutably stained. Following the Red Stag Rebellion.
Perhaps we at the Carpador did hear about the rebellion. And those of us old enough to remember that age to view it as a tragedy. For certain. But you are here. I imagine other family members of yours are here. And you are a guru of rank. Your grandfather's actions aside, you can't have continued on without the approval of the truth catcher. So, what exactly are you insinuating here? People ignoring the edicts?
No. This sept has shown us great mercy, led by wise and just voices. And me and my family are forever grateful for that. But my own promotion to rank, recent as it is, was a rather quick affair. By deed of battle. But I don't ignore the reality of the situation.
Well, you know
On
what
this
they say,
sept,
Raya.
the Red Stag Rebellion is not a story, but a wound, healing, not forgotten. I'm sure there will be those with doubts, and it will be up to me to prove the choice a correct one. That is all there is to it.
Well, this is you say then, Raya. In your position, I wouldn't be particularly surprised at your sudden rise at rank. It's often said the Guru campaign rises in the morning a Cleith, finds himself a Fostrum by afternoon, and at evening, should he survive, is an Adrian. He gives
There's
little
a noise. Yeah, there's almost like a chuckle, maybe. Or maybe he just got something stuck in his throat.
Nope. No, Connor's rich little, you question whether or not he's worked a day in his life the way he laughs.
Mm-hmm.
It's questionable.
True enough words. But so often conventional wisdom clashes with uncomfortable truth. But we have much to celebrate, as much as we have much to mourn.
Such is the
As
nature of
Fianna's
life.
strength lays. Yes, Fiona's strength lies in our ability to use the past to shape the future, good and bad. You remember our history.
Our tribe is famed for its long memory, yes.
And we should all look forward to our own opportunities to add to that long story. And seeing as you have arrived at such a pivotal moment, I have little doubt you will receive that opportunity quickly.
It is the idea. After all, what is ours but to act?
Nods. Out of curiosity, if I may ask, what would be your weapon of choice?
Well, I have a proficiency in most short-range hand-to-hand weapons, some training in firearms. I don't believe I've had much experience with the lance, but then again, I haven't been on the sept.
There will be time for that, I'm sure. Well, would you ever be in the need of a sparring partner or be willing to assist if our local metas would not be available? A fair word of warning.
A warning a little late, I'm afraid. I've become well acquainted with Tarv.
Mm. He does good for the set by not holding back.
So I was told.
I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, he managed to pop 3 of my ribs last time.
He does love that art, Tarv. Was the ribs never an arm, a leg, or perhaps the head? No, no. Everything goes in the breadbasket. He certainly has a certain zest for his duties.
As he should. But a few rounds against Tav seems to bring the spirit into the cubs.
There's this long pause and then quiet. Because you're both under like an overhang, he finally takes his hat off, just sets it in his lap.
Hmm.
See what other pictures I got of this guy.
Oh. Oh. Trying real hard not to make a bowler hat guy joke from meeting the Robinsons.
His hat gets a special place because he takes off one of his overcoats and folds it, puts it on the bench next to him, and then puts the hat on that.
As you do.
Leaving him scandalously with suit vest, shirt, and cravat.
Is it just the morning sun or is it getting warm in here? But now, Kian takes a moment watching one of the horses being taken out of the stables for a ride, stretching its legs.
Well, if I know my schedules, which I am fairly new, yesterday's experience tells me that we are about to see a particularly young, strapping Silverfang cub go on a ride. And there are the ladies over there, which tells me I'm quite right.
You're a quick learner.
It's hard to ignore the crowd.
Zep provides many quiet places if need be.
So I've come to know I did have a chance to peruse matters the other day. Found myself in the McTighe Library, actually. Quite a vast collection they've brought about.
It is most impressive.
Have you been?
Once, I did not have the opportunity to peruse for very long, but it was clear from even a glance. One could lose many afternoons or even weeks between those shelves.
I do hope I don't get lost the next time.
That is not to mention the collection at the Weir Tower, though that is of a more volatile and potentially dangerous nature.
And from what I can tell, the territory of a pack in and of itself.
That as well.
Well, I would hardly march up to them myself and make such demands, but perhaps after some time you could put in a good word for me.
As far as I'm aware, their collection is available for viewing. If necessary, tribute is made. They exchange knowledge for knowledge.
Strokes that beard that barely exists.
Kian's not much better, to be honest. keep changing between beard and beardless.
Depends on whether or not he's had yogurt.
God damn it. Taking a look at the sun as it has risen on the sky. Gin stretches himself. I do believe I better finish up the work before my patrol.
Oh.
But if you were to find yourself wandering off Sept into a beautiful local Brooks Rest, and for any reason have reason to call on me, the Stag and Doe bookshop. It's slightly off the center street, second alleyway to the right. My kinfolk would be happy to entertain. And if you have interest in books, I'm sure there'll be something interesting as well.
Well, with you back to your duties and me actually on my way to town, I believe I have a new itinerary, as it were.
It is not the Mateague Library, that is for certain, but I look for quality, not quantity, in what we stock.
Man after my own heart. Pleasure to have met you, Brian.
I wish you all the best.
And as the two part ways, I believe we can end the scene.